All right, let's jump right in. We tend to think of history as something that's already written down, sealed away in dusty old books. But what if I told you some of the biggest stories are still buried, literally right under our feet, and we're just now getting the tools to read them? Today, we're going to look at how some absolutely incredible new technology is letting us find and explore ancient cities without ever picking up a shovel.
So, to kick things off, get this. Around the year 1100, London was a pretty big deal, right? A bustling medieval town with maybe 20,000 people. Well, at the very same time, a city in North America, right near modern-day St. Louis, was potentially more than double its size. Yep, this place was called Cahokia, and it was a true metropolis that could go toe-to-toe with the great cities of its time. So what exactly was Cahokia? Well, for centuries, its true size was basically a secret, hidden in plain sight. We now know it was the largest, most complex city north of the famous Aztec and Mayan cities down in Mexico. This place was a powerhouse, a hub of culture, of trade, of sheer influence that shaped the entire Mississippian world. And its story is just wow. It's so dramatic. Let's look at its timeline. For hundreds of years, it was a quiet little settlement. But then, around 1050 AD, something happened, what archaeologists call a Big Bang. The population just exploded. It hits its peak around 1100, a massive, influential city. But by 1350, it's totally empty, a ghost town. Such a rapid rise and this really mysterious fall that we're still trying to piece together today. The scale of what these people built is, frankly, hard to wrap your head around. To create their giant earthen mounds, the people of Cahokia moved an estimated 55 million cubic feet of earth. Just pause and think about that. All of it, every single bit, dug up and carried by hand in woven baskets. It's an absolutely incredible feat of engineering and pure human will. And this wasn't just some random collection of dirt piles. Not at all. Cahokia had all the features of a truly great city. I mean, we're talking about a central mound that's taller than a 10-story building, a grand plaza that's the size of like 35 football fields. They even built a massive solar calendar out of huge timber posts, nicknamed Woodhenge. This was a complex, highly organized society with trade networks stretching for hundreds and hundreds of miles. Okay, so if this city was so huge and so advanced, why was it a secret for so long? Why are we only now, in the 21st century, really getting the full picture? And that question gets us right to the heart of the challenge of studying these lost worlds. Here's the problem. Traditional archaeology is, of course, absolutely essential, but it has its limits. Digging is super slow, it's really expensive, and honestly, it can damage the very history you're trying to save. An excavation might show you one house or one small part of a plaza, but how on earth do you map an entire 6-square-mile city that's been swallowed by forests and fields for centuries? And this is where the story gets really cool. Because now, archaeologists have a whole new toolkit, a truly revolutionary set of technologies. These are tools that let them see beneath the surface of the earth, revealing the ghosts of ancient landscapes without disturbing a single speck of dust. The big picture term for all these techniques is remote sensing, and it's pretty much exactly what it sounds like, sensing things from far away. By putting these super advanced sensors on planes or drones or even satellites, archaeologists can gather just immense amounts of data about what's hiding below ground. Now, one of the star players in this tech revolution is LiDAR, and the best way to think about LiDAR is like a kind of digital deforestation. A plane flies over a site, shooting millions and millions of laser pulses down at the ground. By measuring the tiny differences in time it takes for those pulses to bounce back, it can build an unbelievably detailed 3D map of the bare Earth, almost magically erasing all the trees and plants that are hiding everything. Okay, so then you have photogrammetry. If LiDAR gives you the perfect shape of the ground, photogrammetry gives you the texture and the color. This is where drones fly over a site, snapping thousands of super high-resolution overlapping photos. A computer then brilliantly stitches all those pictures together to create a stunningly photorealistic 3D model of the surface. And just so we're clear, these aren't just some niche, fringe techniques. I mean, look at this chart. The use of remote sensing and AI in archaeology has absolutely skyrocketed over the last decade. It's not just a trend, it's fundamentally changing how the entire field works, making discovery possible on a scale we could have never imagined before. And the very latest piece of this puzzle? Artificial intelligence. You can think of AI as a sort of superpowered research assistant. It can sift through the mountains of data that LiDAR and these other tools generate, and it can automatically spot subtle patterns, like the faint outline of a buried wall or an ancient pathway, things that are literally invisible to the human eye. It does in hours what would take a person years.
So you've got all these amazing, powerful technologies on their own. But the real magic, the real breakthrough, happens when you start bringing them all together. It's a process called data fusion, and it's what's allowing archaeologists to digitally rebuild the past with just breathtaking accuracy.
The process itself is actually pretty elegant. First, you get the LiDAR scan, which gives you that precise, geometric skeleton of the site. Then photogrammetry comes in and drapes a realistic, textured skin over that skeleton. AI is the secret sauce that helps merge and align these huge data sets perfectly, and what you're left with is a single, complete, and incredibly detailed 3D model of an ancient world.
This table really breaks down why they work so well together. See, LiDAR, with its lasers, is the master of geometry. It gives you the perfect shape. But photogrammetry, with its cameras, is the master of appearance. It gives you the perfect look. It's that perfect partnership. One builds the structural skeleton, the other provides the realistic skin. You need both to bring the past back to life. And you might be wondering, okay, how precise is this really? Well, hold on to your hats. Studies have found that the average difference between the models made by LiDAR and photogrammetry can be as little as 2 centimeters. That's less than an inch. We are talking about making a digital copy of an ancient city that is accurate to within the width of your thumb. It's just wild. And hey, don't just take my word for it. It's all proven out in the field. As this quote from a recent scientific review says, combining these datasets is really the key to creating more complete 3D models. It basically patches the weaknesses of any one single technology, giving us the most complete picture of the past that we have ever had. Period. So let's bring this all together. What is the big takeaway here? What does all this mind-blowing tech actually mean for how we understand history? Well, it represents a massive shift in our perspective, a whole new way of seeing. You see, this is so much more than just making better maps. It's about finally being able to see and appreciate the true scale, the true complexity, the true genius of ancient peoples. We can see their city planning, their enormous engineering projects, and their deep connection to the landscape in a way that was simply impossible before. We are, in a very real sense, rewriting what we thought these ancient civilizations were capable of. Which leaves us with one final, incredible thought to chew on. The same technology that helped us finally grasp the true scale of Cahokia is now being used all over the globe. So if it can uncover a lost American metropolis that was hiding in plain sight for centuries, just imagine how many other forgotten cities, roads, and entire civilizations are out there, just waiting for us to digitally pull back the curtain and find them. The age of discovery, it turns out, is far from over.